Hello and welcome to the Hicks Homestead YouTube channel. My name's Wade. Welcome to the homestead. So I did a couple of videos before reviewing the PECRON power station, the EP3000's LFP, and I have been waiting patiently for my expansion batteries to show up. I've got the full maxed out system with 4 expansion batteries of the EP3000's. They showed up at about 56-57% state of charge. I charged the whole power pack up to 100%, let everything kind of stabilize out over a couple of days. I was going to make a video last Tuesday when they came in, but I wanted to let them charge, and then time got away from me with life, the universe, and everything. So I'm just now getting around to making a video about this. So about 5 o'clock, I decided I'm just going to go for it. I'll come back and video it tonight. I have my refrigerator and my deep freeze running on a portable power station. Now, rough calculations that I learned from Hurricane Helene is this should power both of those for about a day just with the main power station. So basically having 15 kilowatts should give me, in theory, 5 days of running these refrigerators. I guess we're fixing to figure out whether that's true or not. I really don't want to draw my power station down to 0. So I'm going to run this test for 4 days. And this is going to be the first video that I'm making of it. And then I'm going to come back towards the end later this week, and I'm going to finish this video off. And I'm going to upload them separately, and then I'm going to try to put it together along with some of the time-lapse footage out of the GoPro there that I think just ran out of memory. I was going to film it discharging in time-lapse. I filmed it charging in time-lapse. Anyway, I digress. It's off-grid. I've got a refrigerator and freezer running, and something that not a lot of people know about is all of these crazy connectors. I've never seen somebody do a video. They just see the connectors and just go like, I don't need any of these. The only ones they care about are these ones on the side that connect the batteries and the cascade to the main unit. But it's really interesting what they give you in the box. So I've got them set up here where these right here are all of your ways you can get power into the EP3000 batteries. You can hook it up to a car. You can hook it up to the MC4. I think that's like a 15 or 20 amp Anderson connector. And then there's like a 55-25 barrel port that you can connect it to. And then over here, these are the 2 ways you can get power out of your PECRON power station. One right here is a 55-25. This other one's a 55-21. That's a 55-25. And then you've got your normal little cigarette lighter that's only good for maybe 15 amps. So those are the ways to get power out. And then you've got alligator clips and your XT60. Theoretically, that'll give you out 30 amps. In my case, why would I want to hook a DC connection up? I got 4 batteries. I have 4 of these. And I'm never going to try to charge a 12-volt battery with these. It doesn't really make much sense to me. But in here is a 30-amp fuse. And I'll pop this open. And see, it's got a green 30-amp fuse in it. These things come packaged amazing. Like, even with the slight corner damage on the box, you don't have to worry about it. You could probably drop the box and everything's going to be fine. Anyway, the main point of this part of the video is actually doing a real-world test of play, pretend, whatever. Grid's gone down. I need to keep my food safe. How long can I do it for in a realistic scenario? My power was down for only about 4 days. Had I had this full setup, I would have never needed to run a generator. So that's pretty important. But let's move on to the book here. This is for the EP3000's LFP. So this is the main inverter battery. And in here for solar charging, you have your AC input, which I've tested in previous videos. I'm not going to get to test the solar input for probably not until June of next year, because I'm in a process of moving. Joy. But you know that you've got your 7 amp, 150 watt, 12 to 30 volt max solar input on the 5521, and then your dual XT60s with the 32 to 150 volt 20 amp max, 1200 times 2. So in this unit alone here, you're getting 2550 watts of potential solar input. That's a lot of power coming in. However, this is the book that came with the batteries. It tells you if you can use 400 watts of solar, and it talks about the thresholds of solar. So you can have on your solar input, which is interesting, 12 to 95 volts input, but only at 400 watts. So that's pretty amazing to do that. And you can do panels in series parallel. Most people usually get a single 400 watt solar panel. Assuming you kept the panels and you didn't overpower it, you said, I'm going to get a 400 watt solar panel. I don't think a lot of people are tracking that each of these batteries have their own solar charge controller in them. And what that means is on this side here where you have your input for your solar, that means you have an extra 1600 watts of solar you can add to this unit. Now I like to take that number of the total solar power put into the unit, and I like to multiply it by 0.75. That means that my panels are really only going to produce about 75% of what their rated value is. Most of them are really 80, but I like to go for more of a bad case scenario where even on the best day, you're only getting about 75% of what that panel is capable of doing. What that means, in layman's terms, is you can have the solar input through the 3 solar charge controllers on the main unit, and then each 400 watt solar charge controller in there, and at the worst case scenario in a 4.5 hour solar day, you could generate about 14 kW, which means you can use right around 14 kW a day, provided you have good solar conditions. And that's not completely discharging this unit. So I think that's a game changer. Because let's say, for instance, you manage to fry your solar inputs, your 3 solar charge controllers on your main unit. I sent a message to PECRON and I asked the question, can I use the solar inputs in the expansion batteries to also charge the main unit if something were to happen to those solar inputs? And they said yes. So the limiting factor is not necessarily only being able to charge it with the solar inputs on the power station. You can charge the whole unit with all of the solar inputs. So this unit, when you look at it, has 7 solar charge controllers on it. 7 independent charge controllers. If you're down to the 5521 port, you're probably not doing much else than charging a cell phone. If you get down to that's your only input left. But that is a lot of capability that I think makes this one of the best power stations on the market. So we're going to wrap it up here for today. I've started this unit up at 5 p.m. today. And right now we're at around 7:30. The unit was at 99% when I turned it on. We're down to 98. And these refrigerators, when they run, they don't really use all that much power. So that's why I want to do a real world test and see what it actually does. Not just sit here, do a bunch of math and tell you, sure, you can run your refrigerator for 4 days. That may not be the case. I may be able to only run it for 3 days. I may be able to run it for 6 days. I don't know. That's why I'm doing real world testing right now. And like I said, I'm only going to bring the whole system down to about 20% state of charge. Maybe a little lower if it happens to be I get home from work late. But when that day comes, I'm going to record videos of where it's at every day around 5 o'clock when I get home from work. I'll put those together as soon as I figure out how to work a computer and a video editor and see if I can get some footage off the GoPro there. But yeah, right now I'm just doing raw, unfiltered, and uncut. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. A lot more is coming on the channel when I move out to the new homestead. Thanks for watching.